sticking with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, always helping you win in any marketplace. We've got Forbes Riley in studio. We're going to come up just a moment with her. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties live on air, and it's part of our strategy where we help our sellers profit more and sell faster by featuring our listings on the program. We got a hot listing here at 12290. This is 101st Street in Largo. So how rare is it to have acreage in Pinellas County, raw land that you can build and develop? This is almost 11 acres, 4.9 buildable here in Largo, Florida, Pinellas County, and it's a stunning piece of land on Lake Seminole, the second largest lake in all of Tampa Bay. You got a great ROI potential opportunity here, incredible development play. It's zoned, and already we've done a feasibility report, which tells you what you can put on this property. 22 single-family homes or for a neighborhood, or a 43-unit townhome community. It's already been planned, and it's there, and the possibilities are endless for you. 12290 101st Street in Largo. You can see all of our real estate listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Forbes Riley, welcome into the studio.
Actually, you know what? It's now Dr. Forbes Riley.
Dr. Forbes.
Last time I saw you, I got a
Nice.
doctorate. Yep.
Well, thank you for the reminder there.
I don't do
appreciate it.
physicals, but I do other kind of
Okay,
doctor
that's
business.
awesome.
Yeah.
Where did you get your degree, and how did that come about?
Well, you know what? I think it comes out from doing a lifelong business.
Yeah.
It was an honorary doctorate given to me along with Les Brown.
Yeah, Les Brown.
Yep, University in Atlanta last year. And quite an interesting honor. You know, I've been doing business since I was 16 years old, so that's how many years? And I finally hit some strides in what I'm doing now, and I love coming back here, is I'm really focused on coaching other people.
Coaching.
Yeah, to get a point. You know, I'm the queen of pitch.
I love
Pitched over $2.5 billion worth of product in my career.
Wow.
195 infomercials that you've seen, from Jack LaLanne to George Foreman to you name it, Kevin Harrington, Shark Tank. I did all of those. In fact, if you go to YouTube and type in my name and Kim Kardashian, I give her an infomercial as her very first job on a steam iron.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, she doesn't look the same. She doesn't sound the same. It was a long time ago.
That is awesome.
And then 28 years on home shopping.
Yes,
So you
that's
give me
right.
a product, I can help you pitch it better.
That's
and
right.
Everybody pitches all day long.
Were you buddies with Billy Mays?
You know what? He helped launch my SpinGym. Billy
Yeah.
was one of my best friends.
Yeah, I had met with him and pitched a product with him, and seemed very genuine, just a nice guy. He really did.
You know, and it's funny how you learn lessons. You know what? One of the things Billy taught me is you always put your hand out and say, "Nice to meet you," and say your name. Even though he
Right.
was famous, he always said that. And you learn little keys of business, I think, is minutia.
Yeah.
I think it's how you show up, how you position yourself, how you think about yourself.
Yeah.
Very different than, you know, your P&L statement and how much property you own.
Right.
But when you connect to somebody, one of my biggest lessons is I ask you, "Hi, Brand, nice to meet you. What do you do? What do you
Right.
tell me?
Right.
What do you say?"
Radio, TV show host, and I own a real estate team at Keller Williams Realty.
Cool. Now, if you added just a little tweak to that and said, "And I can also help you get into real estate or find property in Southern Florida,"
Right.
that little end of that would go, "Oh, now it's a little bit about me."
Nice. I like
I
that.
firmly believe that when we get asked that question, people don't really care about you. They care about what you can do for them.
Right.
And how you connect.
That's
And when
true.
I get yeses in like 90 seconds. And I used to come home from business conventions with like stacks of cards. My assistant's like, "What do I do with this?" I'm like, those are all people that I connected to, that I want to have some relationship. I could see where we could intersect.
Yeah.
And just like you know, you have a #1 podcast. "Hey, Forbes, you want to come on?" That was a pitch, and I said yes.
Right.
So it's always about the value you give to someone else.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that, because it really is what's in it for me. I teach a class called Win with Sellers through the Keller Williams organization, and that seller, when I'm talking to that home seller, it's what's in it for me. That's what's in their mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're wanting me to show them that, yes, I'm capable, I can do it. Here's what we're known for. We have our talk show. So yeah, it's all about what's in it for the other person.
I tell people, when you're pitching or when you've got something that you really want in someone else's hands, stop telling them they need it. I don't need your vitamin or your new car or your new house.
Yeah.
But if you can get me to want what you have,
Yeah.
like earlier you showed a beautiful piece of property. If you can get me to understand how I could get other investors and make an apartment complex and get rich, that's about me, not about the land itself.
Exactly.
Yeah, people don't think that way.
Yeah, I love that. You know, it reminds me too of I love to teach negotiation strategy. I teach a class on negotiation, and I interviewed an FBI negotiator, Chris Voss. He's made his
I
ways
love
around.
Chris.
You've
He's
heard
a good
about him.
friend.
He talked about the Haitians have the dubious distinction, Haiti is, of the most kidnappings in a year. And,
wow.
And what he said is, when you get that person's father or parent that got kidnapped on the phone, they don't want to know about you. They want to know what you can do to help them.
Right.
So he told us, an interesting story about how he was. He says, "Well, you're in Washington D.C. What are you going to do for me?" the guy's dad
Right.
or parent. So he comes back and he says, well, we know that they these kidnappers, they really are looking to make a deal around Thursday or Friday night because they really just want party money for the weekend.
Oh, wow.
And so he goes through stats and he proves kind of what you're saying.
Right.
What's in it for me?
When you do that, you win. Since last time I've seen you, I now have 18,000 students. Last 2 years, I built an entire coaching company. And the crazy part of this, which I'm excited to share, is I did it with my daughter.
Awesome.
Now, when we were building this, she was 17 during COVID, along with her twin brother, going to college or going to high school in my house. She decided not to go to college. You know why she's not going? She can't afford to. Because 16 people depend on her. She's got 16 employees now.
Wow.
And a multi-million-dollar company based around what we do.
I love it.
Because if you can take your life online, so she did my entire back end. She's now 20 and the CEO of my company.
Awesome.
And she'd written a book called Every Company Needs a Kid. And it's funny, when last time I saw you, it was Jared and Tony Robbins was here, and how the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited that we are now doing this not only for men and women, but taking young people and just shifting their perspective. Because so many people are like, well, I got to go get a job.
Yeah.
No, you don't. There's so many side hustle opportunities, and if you can sell, if you can talk and connect, you're so far ahead of the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's a big. I was just listening to one of my podcasts where I kind of gather my news. I try to get it in short doses, but it's Daily Wire. It's like every morning they tell you the different stories. One of the big stories was on there, the statistics showing the amount of people that are not going to college. They're opting out of going to college now. And, of course, some of it was pandemic related, but, some of it's indoctrination related, what's happening at the colleges. But, yeah, and the other part is people, they want to do their own thing. They want to go out and start a job, start making money. And these days, it's all about being resourceful. There's a lot of resourcefulness that can happen with all the videos online and tutorials and training programs. I'm sure you have training programs.
Well, it's funny. Her twin brother went off to college because that's what his dad, who was a former Notre Dame football player, said, you need to go to college.
Yep.
And I'm a graduate of college with 2 degrees, first in my line of, my parents didn't go to college. And it was the big thing to get there. And I'm sitting here going, $200,000 later, what am I supposed to do with my political science degree?
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
The most useless thing in the world, and I've got one.
Yeah.
I've got 2 degrees, actually. Can't figure out either one of them are for.
Yeah.
So I'm not advocating either or. One kind, they're both going on their own path. What I am advocating for is that you understand today there's so much more available.
Yeah.
So if you're a mom, you're at home, or you're, ousted out of your corporate job, it's really important to understand the opportunities now are more than ever.
Yeah.
I remember my son was about 9 years old. He's like, Mom, I'm like, what? He's like, all the good ideas have been taken.
Oh, my goodness.
And I thought, oh, my gosh. First of all, who filled that into your head?
Right.
And I was like, it was about when Facebook had come out. I'm like, and then you got, TikTok and Instagram. Like, there's no shortage of ideas.
Right.
But there is shortage of understanding how to implement them.
Yeah.
And if you're a certain age, we're not that good on computers. We just started a company called GSD, training.
Okay.
You know what it stands for?
GSD. Go ahead.
Get you done.
There you go. Okay.
How to get you done. Yes. Yeah. GSD an ebook. GSD an online course. GSD how to build a sales funnel.
Yep.
GSD your email list. GSD things that you don't even realize that you could do so quickly. And then yesterday, I don't know if you heard, but AI came out and accessible to all of us. And all of a sudden, things are changing so fast that I love that I've got somebody so young on my ship that we can literally steer. Cruise ships don't have a lot of flexibility, like institutions, slow to turn.
Yep.
But little motorboats and jet skis, and those of us who are moving fast, we have a massive impact on so many people.
And that's a competitive advantage. That's a competitive advantage that you have when you are fluid and you're able to kind of make those changes on the go. And you look at different trends and, even something as simple as the T-shirt business.
Right.
Remember when screen printing became, it's like, oh, what's the hottest new slogan? Oh, let's put that on shirts and sell the heck out of them on an internet site. And
now you can do it even faster with Printful. You don't even have to touch your inventory.
Right.
There's so many avenues. Now, I don't know, do you know that I own a television studio here in St. Pete?
I think I've heard of that.
Okay. Because I'm going to need to have you come in and do this on my set.
Okay, I love it.
Years and years ago, I wanted something that was mine, and I was looking for an office building. Next thing I bought a warehouse, converted into a television studio called Forbes Riley Studios.
Nice.
And locally here, we have a national talk show. We do movies and television and commercials. We also take entrepreneurs and real estate professionals and get them to understand how to do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
How do you leverage someone's podcast?
Right.
How do you get on morning talk shows? How do you get on the speaker circuit? For example, Grant Cardone.
Yep.
I was a speaker at the 10X stage in front of 10,000 people, and I own real estate, but that's not what I was speaking about.
Yeah.
How do you get to that level? So I teach people that, and we're calling it Next Level. In fact, on Monday, I'm launching a signature training.
Sweet.
Yeah, how to take your life wherever you are to your next level.
I love it.
What's your next level?
I love it. 100 million in sales. That's our next level. My wife Lindsay and I own a top real estate team here in Tampa Bay. That's our goal. Inside of the next 18 months, we're going to have $100 million in real estate sales.
Dang, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Where do you find people who come to you who are also real estate professionals? Where are they short? Where are they not seeing what you see or as successful as you?
Well, I think it's the systems. You got to have systems in place. You've got to have, of course, work ethic. All the coachable items. But when it comes to shortcomings, I think it's the systems, and we're witnessing that in our industry right now. You probably heard there's a little bit of a market shift happening. Interest rates are rising. Inventory staying on the market longer. Properties are taking longer to sell. Pending sales are down. So that shift is going to create a shrinkage in the number of realtors. So realtors are going to look for a safe haven of a team that has all of the support, the resources, the technology, the education, the training, support, all those different ideas.
Well, and that's why it's real important for you watching or listening to turn off the news at some point.
Yep.
Because the doom and gloom is actually good news for a certain portion of the population.
Right.
During the 1920s when the Big Depression happened, millionaires and billionaires were made during the same time that lots of people weren't working.
Yep.
And so if you're smart and you listen to shows like this and you stay connected, I'm a huge fan of getting coaching and part of a mastermind to understand, great, when all that happens, what real estate inventory can I get? What niche could I do? During COVID, if you were selling toilet paper and hand sanitizer, man, you scored big, right?
Yeah.
So it's an important thing to understand that what you see isn't always what you see.
Yeah. No, that's true. And it just reminded me of, too, I played a clip on earlier in the show of Russell Brand and him talking out about Big Pharma and Wall Street and some of these different areas. Mm-hmm. But you talk about some billionaires being made during the pandemic. There was a billionaire made every 30 hours during the pandemic. Ooh. And those, to me, it seems like maybe some of those were insiders, the elites. So they've got the inside track there. Let's tease the next segment. What do you want to talk about next? We're going to take a quick break, but what do you want to talk about next?
For all of your listeners live, I've got a women's summit coming up, a global international women's summit. I want you to come to it for free with Miss Vivica Fox, the actress, Sharon Lecter, the woman who co-wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Elena Cardone, Grant's wife, and I'll tell you what, we are going to crush this, and you have a free ticket. I'll tell you how when we come back.
Awesome. Excellent. Good stuff. More with Dr. Forbes Riley here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Taking a quick break. We're going to come right back, and don't touch that dial. We're going to hear more about this Global Women's Conference coming up here. It's virtual as well, so you can see it, hear it from anywhere. We'll be right back. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com. All right, welcome back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show. We got Dr. Forbes Riley in studio, award-winning TV show host, best-selling author, creator of the SpinGym. We're going to talk with her, find out more about her at ForbesRiley.com. More with Forbes here in just a moment. Before we do, we always like to feature our real estate properties live on air on the program to help our sellers sell faster for more money. Part of our unique strategies through Keller Williams Realty. 3058 Mildred Drive. This is a hot property listing that we've got in Palm Harbor, just a beautiful town, Palm Harbor in Pinellas County. This has a screened-in pool. You've got your own private boat dock with a canal access to Lake Tarpon. Great opportunity. This can be a short-term rental also. There's no homeowners association. So you've got 1,380 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, spacious corner lot. Owner pride definitely shines through. Everything is well maintained. Beautiful property. Boat dock on the canal leading out to Lake Tarpon. 3058 Mildred Drive in Palm Harbor, Florida. That's Pinellas County. And you can see all of our real estate listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com.
Good title.
Thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so Dr. Forbes Riley in the studio here. Let's talk a little bit about that Global Women's Conference. You've got, Elena Cardone. You've got Vivica Fox.
I got Lisa Copeland. They're all very XP Realty or however that works.
Okay.
I just brought in Vivica Fox, who's one of my all-time friends, movie star, television star from Independence Day and lots of Kill Bill. And then the woman, I'm excited about this. I don't know if you ever have a crush on somebody, and I don't know if that's public, you can say that. But you're allowed to girl fan people.
Right.
And when COVID was happening, I loved AGT, America's Got Talent, because some of the greatest stories have evolved, and they really showcase them. Well, this woman came on, and she was pregnant in her car. Her little boy was there with her, and she's talking about her businesses, sculpting people's bodies, whatever. And then she starts to sing. And it's like Whitney Houston reincarnated.
Wow.
And her journey, and and then what happened was she's singing, stop. Simon looks at her and says, do you have a second song?
Yeah.
And our heart stopped. The entire audience was like, are you kidding me? She does the second song, blows it off. Heidi gives her a golden buzzer, and it was amazing.
Wow.
I watched her journey all through the show. And during COVID, it was a challenging, lonely time, and I was rooting for her. She came in third at the end of this, but so amazing. She just came back for All Stars, and I'm thinking, I've got almost 30,000 women and men signed up for my conference. I reached out to her team and said, would you be my guest? I want to share how I not only love you, but I play your videos to inspire others. She just said yes.
That's awesome.
So her name is Christina Ray. She is coming on the show. I'm very, very excited. We've got 3 days, 12 hours a day. I mean, I have amazing people, some of you've never heard of, but all for different areas and all celebrating different aspects of women. Then I've got Elaine Lelaine, Jack Lelane's widow. She's 97 years old, more energy than I do. And I'm going to tell you, this is a diverse, and then my daughter's coming on to talk about how to AI and GSD your life. So 20 to 97, we covered it all. We'd love you to be there. It's free.
That's cool.
Go to realsuccesswomen.com. And, of course, at my link, you can find that as well.
ForbesRiley.com is the place to go hit it all. ForbesRiley.com. And, it's interesting, too, with the news cycle, you hear these different swimmers that are female, but they're not actually female. Where do you see this going?
You know what? I have no comment. I got to tell you. Here's the thing. I grew up as a woman. I identify as a woman. That's all I know. And I've got 2 kids, and I'm identifying with a beautiful husband who's also pretty fit. I got to tell you, pendulums swing. And I've been around for a couple of decades now, and I've seen a lot of issues come to the forefront, and everybody has their time. And, we also pick our own issues. I've got 2 issues that I'm dealing with. Being a woman in a man's world is a very real thing. And then ageism, because I'm not 22 or 42 anymore. And I remember when I was 40 in Los Angeles, and something annoying happened. I mean, at 40, you were too old. Certainly back then. There was nobody older doing anything. And I was the hit of the infomercials. I was the go-to girl in my industry. One day I take a contract, $100,000 contract to host a show, bring it to my agent, and say, negotiate it. He calls me 2 days later, and he says, well, I got good news and bad news. The good news, they love you. I'm like, that's cool, right? The bad news, they're not going to hire you. I'm like, I'm sorry, wait, what? They're my clients. He said, yeah, I was on the phone. They really want a younger, less expensive version of Forbes Riley, and I found it. And I said, and you're fired.
Wow.
Oh, no, but no. He said, but they want you to teach that person how to pitch. I said, when pigs fly, I'll be there. And then for 20-some-odd years, I didn't talk about what I do. Because the skill that I have about pitching, I used to pitch to a TV camera. I've done $1 million in a day on home shopping.
Yeah.
I didn't want to teach anybody. I was a little bitter. And also at 40, to say that you're too old.
Right.
So now, 20 years later, my daughter looked at me and said, Mom, if you want to leave a legacy, you're one of the best teachers ever on pitching. And that's why we started this company, so that I could leave a legacy but help other people with something that I have treasured for so long. And so that's part of what we're up to.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's really interesting with the business, how you mentioned pendulum swinging, know, and I think it's a challenge for the women that grew up as swimmers, and then now they have a man competing against them. To me, that's dead wrong.
We could go on an entire that should be a panel where we can all get into this heated conversation, because I'm very opinionated about those things. But I got to tell you, in today's day and age, it's weirdly polarizing. Every issue is polarizing.
They make it that way for a reason, don't they?
I don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So that's problematic. I'm going to turn this around for a second, because we only have a short period of time.
Yep.
I just discovered a game called football. I didn't really know football.
Yep.
My husband's sitting over there, beautiful man. He loves football. And I discovered it. And I love pulling life lessons out.
Yep.
So I've been talking about Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
I mean, I watched the Super Bowl, and I watched something I think is for business a great analogy. There was that moment where he was ready to throw the ball, had no one to throw to. What did he do with a sprained ankle? The guy ran down the field, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm watching this thinking, every entrepreneur who's ever said, I can't do it, it's too hard, I don't think I can, should watch that moment and go, go for it. You get one shot of certain things in life, and if you do not seize the moment, you live with regret, which is, I think, most people. Yeah. Oh, that one thing I wish I had done when I was young. Do it. Do it right now.
That's true.
Then fast forward to a couple of nights ago, the Academy Awards. Best Supporting Actor. Did you see it?
No.
Okay. Yes. I watched him before on a panel with the other nominees.
Yeah.
And he's the young actor, Asian actor, who was the young kid in Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Yeah. Adorable, right?
Yeah, I remember that kid.
Hasn't worked in 20 years. Couldn't get a job.
Wow. Said
it was because, they don't hire Asians. Whatever the thing is, as an actor, some people don't work for 20 years for a lot of reasons.
Wow.
Got back in the game and won an Academy Award.
And
I got one minute here in the studio. I was crying my eyes out. That it was literally, he looked at the camera and said, if you've got a dream, don't blow it.
That's right.
Go to it. And then Jamie Lee Curtis wins the next one. Here's a woman who, even though she was the daughter of major celebrities, was doing Halloween franchises, okay?
Wow.
Does this one film, and boom, forever, they can never take away that Oscar. And I'm so inspired by people who are going for it, who are serving as role models for us.
Sure.
And so I would invite everybody listening to my voice and yours to believe that anything is possible, that if you may only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
Yeah, no, I like that. Those are great stories. I love, you look at those underdog stories. That's I think that's the key is that, you got that underdog that, people would not think was going to be the win, and they come through and they pull that underdog story, and then it's just like it's reflected on. And I think that does give hope and inspiration to people, when they see that happen over and over. And you look at that.
I've discovered this new love of sports analogies. I'm addicted. I watched Tom Brady's life story. 199th pick is the GOAT of all time.
Mm-hmm.
This should, every little kid who's out there who says, somebody picked on me, I don't think I can do it.
Right.
Watch that. Watch Michael Jordan. Apparently, he just wasn't born great. The guy practiced a lot, believed a lot, invested time and energy.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, that's when most people are looking at on the Instagram and other places on internet. Oh, well, they're just lucky or they're more beautiful.
Right.
No, I'm here to tell you, you're an overnight success, but it takes 20 years.
Yeah.
Buckle in for the ride if you say that you want success, and then go for it.
Yeah. And do what it takes. Don't take excuses. Don't come up with the excuses. Don't even think about excuses. It's the hard work and the discipline and the repeating the process time and time again. That's what it's going to take. We've got about a minute left, Forbes. So ForbesRiley.com. She's got a global women's conference. It's a virtual conference coming up. Is that 24th through 26th?
Of March, yep.
Coming up.
Yeah,
right
it's
around
going to be
the
12 hours a day. Come, it's free. The link is there. Find it at ForbesRiley.com. And just remember that if you were somebody within the sound of my voice, that I also was quite the underdog. No one thought I was going to become anything. And now I sit at the top of my industry and speaking and authoring because I wanted it.
Yeah.
I wanted it, was willing to put in the work, locked arms with amazing people, and just chose not to give up when the going got tough.
Yeah, I love it. Tampa Bay success story, Florida success story. I love it. And
USA Global. What is this local stuff, man? We're going big or go home.
Yeah, I mean, I love it though. You think about Tampa Bay, and there's a handful of great ones, and athletes and things of that nature, and entrepreneurs, and but as far as billionaires based in Tampa Bay, we got the Bartolos, I think, and a couple others, right? Not many here in Tampa Bay.
Well, but it's sunshine, it's wonderful, warm, and water is the place to be. So yeah. Don't all of you move down to St. Pete though. It's a little too crowded.
I know, right? Yeah, exactly. We had plus 312 last year moving to the state of Florida. 312,000, that is, moving to the state, number one in the nation. All right, hey, another great show. Dr. Forbes Riley. We had Ray Hall Appraisals on the program, and we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community, and we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon.